Carlos Vides con Mentes Innovadoras aquí por Televida. Y esta mañana estamos en un evento muy especial donde estamos celebrando la graduación de KC Bizfest. Es algo especial en la comunidad latina con nuestros jóvenes de Kansas City. Pues es un evento puesto por Kansas City Hispanic Chamber and Kansas City Collaborate. But today specifically, we have a very special guest, somebody who was already a recipient of the KC Biz Fest in 2008, went through the process of Kansas City Biz Fest, graduated out of it, went on to the world, and make something very good for herself. And we're going to have a chance to listen to her ideas and how she has become the person that she is today. Let's talk about this. Let's meet Piet. Piet, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you for having me. It's such an honor.
Well, for us, we've been waiting for a while. Actually, I wanted to talk to you about for about 2 years.
Yes.
But you know what? Time sometimes is not right. But then sometimes, if you wait a little bit, it gets better.
This is very true. Very, very true. Yes. It's the perfect timing now to have the interview.
Yes. And I cannot tell you enough how happy I am that you got a chance to speak to the Kansas City Biz Fest kids. I think that these kids have got a powerful message from you.
Yes, I am so honored to be able to speak to the students and to kind of have this come full circle for me as being a student that was in BizFest when I was in high school and then graduating from BizFest and being a recipient of a third place BizFest scholarship and then coming back and speaking to the same students that are going through the program that I went through. It's kind of surreal. It's come full circle and I'm so incredibly honored and proud to be representation of, people and students like them and to have them have someone that has experienced it and has gone out into the real world and utilized some of the skill sets that I've learned in their position at the same age and then being able to go out and be like, yeah, I'm going to be a business owner, I'm going to do all these things, and then having those successes in life and be able to come and share that with them it's an amazing feeling that it's really hard to explain because we know how passionate we are about our community and about the Latino youth and how important it is for them to understand like how community should work and how we should be team members and be teammates and uplift each other. And so it feels so good to be able to give back, honestly.
Now let's talk about it. I know that's your passion. I can absolutely sense it. But let's talk about your roots because that is very important. In this program, Innovative Minds, we highlight people that has strong roots and people that has gone through what life has not always been easy.
No.
Things have not been handed out. Things have been earned. And so that is the reason why the Innovative Minds program exists, so we can highlight people like you. So tell us a little bit to the Kansas City audience and everybody, because this is digital media, so we go everywhere.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your roots. Where do you come from? Who is Pierre?
Yeah. So I am actually Native American and Mexican. I was raised on a Native American reservation and then moved here to Kansas with my family. All of my Kansas is from Kansas City, or my family is from Kansas City. And so I grew up most of my life here in Kansas City. Both of my parents didn't have the opportunity to be able to grow in a family that really supported their journey to go to school and get education. And so there was a lot of pressure for me as a student to get good grades and get scholarships and to do things like BizFest and other programs to help me further my education. And so, I grew up in a kind of area that's kind of rough and, they teach you some of the bad habits in life. And I was really trying to like soak up good habits and like do good things in my life so my family could be proud of me. And so at my core, that's, who I am. Just like a lot of people in Kansas City can relate to that. And, I tried, going to college and furthering my education and realizing that my true passion lied within cooking for people. And even though I didn't decide to go and finish school and go work in a fancy office in marketing and wherever else, but I'm still doing something that I'm being successful at, which is being a chef and being a private chef. And so along the way, as you mentioned, it hasn't been easy. It's been difficult and I've hit a lot of bumps in the road, but there's nothing that I told myself, there's nothing that you can't do if you've experienced the hardest things in life, like, homelessness and not knowing your future and, starting from nothing. I took up my entire life from Kansas, and I moved it across
That
the
include the cat.
included my cat. I took up everything that I owned and I put everything in my car and I drove to Los Angeles, and I had to restart from, Los Angeles and start a whole life again without my family, without my friends, because I saw a vision for myself and something that I wanted for myself, and I wanted to succeed in life as a chef. And so I went to Los Angeles and worked really, really hard at it, and had to go through all the obstacles and the downfalls. But at the end of the day, a lot of what I learned here in Kansas City amongst my family, amongst my peers, among some of the people here at Bizfest, they taught me a lot of skills that I could utilize during those situations and to rebuild and to really grow and to be successful. And it's hard for me to be like I'm successful because I still have a lot of dreams and aspirations, and I haven't made it that to that point yet. But I have to remind myself that I am successful. I have been able to do a lot of amazing things in life, and sometimes we're really hard on ourselves,
Yeah.
but we have to continuously
And
remind ourselves of
and
that.
talking about success, so the cooking show.
Hmm.
Is that something that we can talk about a little bit?
Yes, of
Oh,
course.
perfect. Then great. Tell us a little bit. How was that experience for you to get into the Gordon Ramsay cooking show?
Well, first and foremost, I still pinch myself because I can't believe it, but it's been kind of something that was introduced to me, like being in Los Angeles. There's a lot of movie stars, TV stars, and so a lot of people see me and they're like, "You should be on TV. You have a lot of passion, as you can see.
Yeah.
You have a lot of charisma, and you're really good at talking to people." And a lot of people like see something in me, and sometimes I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm just being myself. But surprisingly, I had an opportunity to apply and do an interview for the Gordon Ramsay cooking show, The Next Level Chef. And I thought to myself, wow, this is perfect for where I am in my career and my skill set. And I could compete with people of all different skill sets. And I didn't quite know what I was getting myself into. I thought, okay, I'm going to be on TV and I'm going to be yelled at by Gordon Ramsay. But when I got to the actual competition to see what it was, and you have these, this gauntlet, these 3 layers of different kitchens with different things. And you have the basement, which is really grimy. And then you have really grimy. And then you have the middle kitchen, which is like your standard culinary kitchen. And then you have like the state of the art, at the top. And that's kind of like how life is, you have to like get through the different levels to get to the big special thing that's at top. And so it was an amazing experience. And, we'll have to continue to watch the show.
But you didn't start at the top.
I did not start at the top.
And then also on the previous show that we just finished watching, you were at the basement.
Yes, I was.
How did you get yourself there?
Listen, like we have good days and we have bad days. And I had a bad day and I had to go, back to the basement and work my way up, which is kind of how life works, and I have a familiar feeling with that. So I just apply all those same feelings that I've, endured in life, and all the obstacles and things that I've learned in life, and how to, get better at something and rise to the top and go to the next level and keep trying really hard to rise up. And that's what I had to do. I had to like.
But I got to tell you, I really, I was nervous for you when you were in the basement cooking that day and watching all your peers next to you, especially, was it Kenneth? Kenny, my gosh, and then you pull it off. But then you pull it off not with Hispanic food like you wanted.
No. I had to use what was given to me. I didn't have before we walked into the competition, the mentor had asked me, Piet, if you could choose 2 countries to cook with, what would you choose? And of course I said, Mexico. I'm Mexican. I want Mexican food. Mm-hmm. And then I said, Thailand. I said Mexico and Thailand, because if you think about Thailand food, there's an influence of the Spanish there also, but they use kind of the same ingredients, like fresh herbs, chile, cilantro, lime, citrus, a lot of fresh herb produce and stuff. And so I thought, those 2 would mix perfectly. And then they're like, okay, you're going to the basement. And I'm thinking, okay, I have to choose whatever is there. I don't get to choose what I want. And I had, 2 countries that I was semi-familiar with. I was like, oh, I can make something come out of this. And I just had to work my very best to make the most of those ingredients.
I can tell you guys, it's been an amazing experience watching this girl, our own Kansas City girl, cooking in this show. It is it make you sweat yourself. And I can imagine what she's going through with just in this kitchen running nonstop. It is amazing. An honor for us, the Hispanic community in Kansas City, and to have her there and to know that she's representing the Hispanic community. And not only that, but now let's talk about what kind of life lessons, because this is one of the things that we talk about here. When we have the ups and the downs, what kind of life lesson are we picking up or we getting out of this to go forward?
Yes. For me, there are two really important things in life that you have to succeed at anything. And not just succeed, but if you get knocked down, to help rise you up. And that is, your community, your team, the people that are supporting you. You can't do everything alone. Your chances of winning in life is like, having a team, like in soccer. If you are trying to consistently like shoot a goal against 7 other components, you're less likely to shoot a goal and make it in because you're by yourself. If you have other teammates that are there to help you and that want to win with you, and you trust them, and vice versa, they trust you, you're more likely to succeed. And that's the way that I see life. Without my family, without my community, without my friends, I know it's a lot less harder to succeed in life. And so when I've been kicked down to the bottom, I really clinched on to those people for support to help me get back up and to help me still play the game of life, And so that's one thing that a tool that I've used along my way, like to be successful and to be where I am in life. And it's always to recondition myself for whatever I'm preparing to take on. I want the best for myself. I want the best for my family. And so I have this passion. And so I have to continue to, fuel the passion and keep going back to the conditioning and preparing myself and keep, sharpening my skills. And so it's going to take a lot of hard work.
Wow, that's amazing. For those of you that are listening to this interview today, you are learning about the importance of having a team, having a mentor. If you don't have a team, at least have a mentor, somebody that can walk with you and listen to your wants and needs and your goals and objectives in life. Because, when you have a goal, sometimes it's just a goal. But when you have a true desire to achieve that goal, is what we are listening here. And I know that for sure because I met this girl many years ago. And since then, she's been like this, full of energy. Yeah. So just also yourself up there, be full of energy, be true to yourself and stay focused for what you want in life. And when you are kicked down, no worries. That's just an opportunity for you to get up and do it better. Is that what I'm hearing?
1000%, Carlos. Yes.
Well, I sure appreciate everything. I appreciate that you came out and talked to the kids at the KC Bizfest. You have no idea what these kids are like. Their heads are about to explode with so much knowledge that you've given today. And also for us here with this interview, to take your time and give us a little time to share with the community about you and all the things you're doing in LA and the Gordon Ramsay show. And I'm sure there's much more coming.
Oh, definitely. The passion is still burning. There's still a lot that I want to do for the community, for myself, for my family. And so I hope that everyone that was listening today, was inspired, just as I was inspired by my peers and by people that I've met, when I was their age doing Bizfest. And so it's such an honor to be speaking with you and interviewing with you and speaking with the kids today.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
You are so
Enjoy your stay in Kansas City and don't be a stranger. Come by.
Oh, of course not.
Thank you. Thank you very much for those of you that had a chance to listen to this interview. Share it because when you share, other people listen to these stories. And this whole purpose of Innovative Minds is to tell these stories, to put out this type of knowledge. So hopefully we can motivate somebody else to be like her and follow her tale. And so hopefully we have another one from Kansas City one day because of her. And so let's do that. Let's share it. Let's have a great day today. I'm looking forward to see you in a community. This is Carlos Vides with Innovative Minds in Televida.
David, CEO of Global Control Systems. Tell us, Manuel, what was different about this year when you facilitated the programming here at Bizfest for the 4 days?
Yeah, so the challenge this year that we have is how we do the training. So how we train him on the spirit of an entrepreneur, the marketing, all of those things. So the idea for this year was to um, do interviews of BizFest owners. And through those interviews, have the students listen and understand and relate to and learn, basically learning the definition of all of these business terms and ideas through interviews.
Was it difficult doing it through Zoom since we had a couple of snow days and we were unable to come to Johnson County Community College? So we had to do a lot of the programming via Zoom.
Yes, it was. It's not ideal. We want to see the students. We want to see them face to face. We want to interact with them. We want to shake their hands and interact with them. But we did the best we could. We had a lot of mentors, probably 60 plus mentors that participated, and we made Zoom allowed us to share screens and show different things and answer questions on the chat. So it had its benefits. So it was good.
Vale, tell us about your favorite part of Bizfest.
My favorite part of BizFest was gaining more knowledge about my business, meeting different people with different types of business, and meeting my mentors and these great people that are here.
This is Kenneth, a senior from Olathe North. Tell us, Kenneth, what did you think about Bizfest?
Well, BizFest, BizFest honestly is a really good program, which helped me improve, especially in speech wise, because personally I stutter, but it has really helped me, develop skills so that I can speak better.
This is Estrella, senior from Wyandotte High School. Tell us, Estrella, what did you really enjoy about Bizfest?
I enjoyed the most about BizFest was learning new skills and talking mostly to the mentors. They helped a lot. And I feel like a lot of people that told their stories really inspired me.
And number one, of course, Danny Talavera. And he receives $2,500 scholarship, cash scholarship to any college that he goes to.
We're here with Victor Mejia from Guadalupe Centers High School. He's a junior and his business was Delight Roofing. He was in the final six. How did it feel to be in the final six, and what was your best experience at Bizfest?
It felt good being in the final six. I'm very grateful for it because I go to a school where I'm less privileged to the other students who were here. It was a wonderful experience being part of Bizfest. I learned a lot. I created connections, and it was very beneficial to me.
This is Judith Diaz from Wyandotte High School. She's a senior, and her business was Flex Fitness. How do you feel about the last 4 days of Bizfest, Judith?
I thought it was a lot. It was like a lot of information in just 4 days, but it was definitely worth it at the end. And I think that's what matters.
We're here at KC Bizfest 2022.
Hi, my name is Fabiola Sanchez. I'm a senior at Olathe North High School, and my business was to sell affordable baby clothes.
How was the experience for you these past 4 days at Bizfest?
I learned so much from Bizfest. I learned to breathe and not let my anxiety take control of me. And I learned that it's okay to be yourself and to put yourself into your business.
Right, KC Bizfest 2022.
Hey, I'm Leonardo de Jesus Carrasco. I go by Leo. I'm in 12th grade. I go to Guadalupe Centers, and my record label is an affordable record label for young adults.
Did you feel that you learned some good things at KC Bizfest these past 4 days?
Oh yeah, I learned a lot, especially with these mentors. We had emotional speakers come in and talk about their lives, how they came from nothing to something, and that inspired me to do something for my community.
This is David Morones from Olathe West. He's a senior and he won second place with his business called Instructor In. How did you come up with that idea, Instructor In?
So growing up, I was never able to I was never able to afford any private lessons growing up, and in the world of performing arts, that's essential, that's critical. And because it was so expensive and inconvenient and not accessible, I wanted to change that some way or somehow.
We're here with first place winner at Bizfest, KC Bizfest 2022, Danny Televida y Candelario Olivas. How do you feel? How do you feel about winning Bizfest 2022?
I'm extremely excited. I'm excited where I can put this money in the next few years of my life. And I'd like to thank all the mentors on the way that helped me with my presentation.
And this is Danny's grandfather, Candelario. ¿Cómo te sientes hoy?
Orgulloso, muy orgulloso de él.
Danny is the first place winner of KC Bizfest 2022.